Okay, so here we are. I just put this up for anybody who came on early who might have wanted to look at this. We're not going through this, but we're kind of doing a demo based off of one of these patterns. So I'll leave this up for a second. There was on February 12th, I believe it was, there was a recording of a full class where I showed you several of my patterns, and most of them were the Chakra Tangles from my Chakra Tangle class. And I'm going to come back and do a variation of 2 of those patterns. And let's see. So the first one we're going to do, this is going to be a very short demo, just a few minutes. And I was just fiddling around with this morning. I said, I want to share this with everybody. So why wait? We'll just go and do it now. All right, so this was one of the patterns, Chakeye. And the Chak is for chakra, and this is the eye chakra. And for those who don't know chakras, you can Google it or ask me later or watch the video that I did on February 12th. Okay, so the variation for this one is basically embellishments. So I'm going to draw it, and you can draw with me if you'd like. So I'm going to start with just a round shape. You can call it a circle or an orb, whatever you'd like to call it. This is a very, very easy pattern. And then we're just going to give it a little arc line there and also on the bottom. Doesn't matter how big, how small, just a nice arced line. And it can even be straight if you want. And now we're going to, where this line ended, we're going to start coming up and down and then meet the edge of that other line. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Breathing in and out. Let's make sure we're all relaxed and breathing. Okay, and that is the shape. I know it's funny. Now there was a variation of that one. Just draw a circle, and we'll do our arcs just like we did before. And now, instead of going out, we're going to do the same arc shape on either side. Very simple, very easy. And what we do with this pattern is we do a whole bunch of them, and they can touch like this. Oops, sorry. Right, so do that. Yeah, or they could float. And now, so the variation of this pattern, the embellishments I want to share with you are things. I'm going to just show you a picture right now. So we've got some shading going on, and we could put in maybe some nice inspirational words. We've got peace and love. I threw in some hearts. And this is the one like this. But what I did with this one is I also added those, I call them ears. They look like ears, yes. Also added that, so we had a variation. And you might have another variation. In Zentangle, you can do whatever you want. Always listen to your own creativity and do what feels good. So right here, I put in some orbs, I put some stripes, I put in the pattern Shattuck here, and just some dots around here. All right, and then here we've got some arced stripes and some orbs. So with this pattern that some of you may have learned in the past from that video live class on Facebook on February 12th, which you can look up on this Facebook page, I did not show these embellishments. These are something I just came up with. So, and then the shading as well makes it look real nice. All right, so that's what that is there. And I will demonstrate the shading. And it can be all different. I did a few different things. The one here, I've got just a little bit on the inside. And then we've got tortillon, my tortillon toast, and we just blend that in. So I'm just doing a little bit on that, and that's one way to shade. Another way is to, I'm going to do the same one, and I'm going to go right underneath where these arced lines are, and I'm kind of going a little darker than I usually do, because when you do that, it helps lift this part off the paper a little bit. Gives it that illusion. And so I did both shadings on that, which you can do both or one or the other. So for this one, maybe I would just come over here. Going a little underneath. Blending that in. And then for this, I could, here's another way to shade, put a few on either side, either edge, top edge, bottom edge, and then blend that in. And I'm going fast because this is not a typical Zentangle class. I'm just doing a demo today, just a quick demo. So again, this pattern, it's on my website, and I posted a link, a direct link to the page on my website, because there are so many pages on my website. I didn't want you to have to go searching for it. All of my tangle patterns, including all of the chakra patterns, are on the page in one of the posts below on rejuventangle.com/something. And so, Chakeye. So, and otherwise, you can just go to the website and look for Jacki's patterns. But again, this pattern is called Chakeye, or Chakeye, for chakra eye, the eye chakra. So here's I'm going to do the pattern that was the main reason I opened up the, started the live class today. And that is this. Isn't that lovely? I love it. So I couldn't wait to show it to you all. And this is a variation of Chakthro. Chakthro, okay? Now this, right, so this was the throat chakra from my chakra class. And we start off with this shape. So the original pattern that I demonstrate is we start off with the shape, and then we do the same thing off kind of the middle, and then again the middle. And I will demonstrate that now. So at least we have that basic, and then I'm going to show you the variation that I think is really, really cool. All right, so what we're doing is we're just drawing this seed shape. Right? And it doesn't have to be perfect, you know, do whatever feels good. And then what we do now is we turn our tile and we do the same thing. And I'm kind of focusing on the middle of this side. So I'm doing the same thing. So I'm not, so that I've got Eileen right there. And so now we turn the tile again. I'm working out of a sketchbook, but I still call it a tile, because that's the Zentangle lingo. So I'm doing the same exact thing. The shapes, each shape looks different. So it's not exact, but I'm doing the same repetitive stroke, starting that middle side, doing that shape, not thinking much about it, and then turning. I'm going to fit another one in here. And I'm going to kind of go underneath. Don't have to go underneath. So that is the basic pattern of Chakthro. All right. And I'm going to do some shading, because I don't know if I showed shading last time. So I will show you how to do some shading on this, and then I'll show you the actual variation. And so what I'm doing is just putting a little bit right where they connect, kind of like on the bottom of each one of these petals. And then I'll take my tortillon and blend it in. Now I'm working in one of my sketchbooks that it looks like this. Let me unzoom. It's very small. And so the paper is not the same as the tiles, the Zentangle tiles, but it's still shading pretty nicely. Okay. All right. So now we're going to do a variation of Chakthro. Chakthro. All right. So think about that same shape, but what we're going to do is we're going to start off and we're going to do the same shape we did before. We're going to turn our tile. So instead of going off the side, we're going to actually go right from that center point. So I'm turning my tile just to get a more comfortable angle, and I'm doing that same thing. So right? It's almost like doing a flower or something. So, right? So I'm going off that same center point. And I could do 3 or 4, but I'm gonna do 4. All right, that looks like that's okay because there's no mistakes in Zentangle. But if I was demonstrating it the way I was teaching it, this would have landed here. Actually, it's fine though. It's fine the way it is. So now, what we're gonna do is that same shape, but we're gonna do it like dancing penguins. So we're gonna come off here, kind of to the top, do that same shape, and when you come down, shoot for that little intersection right there. And then turn your tile just a little bit and do the same thing off of this one. You come out. Okay, I just did a loop. I didn't mean to do that, but that's okay. Maybe that's what I meant to do today. So this is another pattern, the rounded, but I meant to come up like that. And I'm going to do that again. I'm coming up and down. And then I'm come to the next leaf. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start a little bit low, a little bit lower here. And I'm going to come up, starting that same shape that we've been doing all along. But now it's kind of like they're all connected. See why I'm excited about it? Doesn't that look nice? I just think that's so cool looking. And now we'll do the other one here. Shooting for that center. So this is being recorded, and you can always come back and look at this recording again. And there are lots of other recordings on this Facebook page. Just go to videos, and I've got recordings of other classes. I have demo classes that are on time-lapse mode, so you can just watch real fast. In 2 minutes, you can watch a 2-hour class. Or there are some that are listed in just, live mode or regular mode. And if you're not on my Zoom classes, you may want to do that. Those are really great. You just need to subscribe to the newsletter to get the login info, and that's all on my Facebook page and different posts. You can always message me if you need assistance. Okay, so now, where did I go? So this is the variation of Chakthro. Chakthro. This was the original Chakthro pattern. This is a variation. And I do have another variation, I think, in the video similar to this, but this is what I came up with today. And let's do a little shading on that. And I think for the shading for this, I think I'm just going to go right along this line where it connects. And I'm going to do that on all of them. Now you notice, for you, especially you perfectionists out there, I want you to pay attention. You notice that when I did this, I totally did something different than what I wanted to do. And this happens a lot in Zentangle. And when we do that, number one, it's usually meant to be for whatever reason. Maybe we meant to do something different and it turns into a whole different pattern. That's very nice. Or also, it won't be noticeable. You know, you probably wouldn't have noticed this unless I pointed it out. So whenever we make a mistake in Zentangle, and pretty much in life, it doesn't always show up. And if it does, it looks like, oh, how cool, something different that I never thought of, and it kind of just happened. And it's a good thing. Because in Zentangle, the goal is not to do exactly what the teacher is showing you. The goal is to just slow down, relax, and draw, and tap into your own creativity. And whatever you come up with is fabulous. We let go of the outcome. We let go of the stress. No stress. But there are some of us who just really want to learn certain patterns a certain way, and that's okay. That's good, actually. Then you can practice them. But during your Zentangle practice, during a class or during the time you're tangling, just try to make it a meditative experience. Put on some nice soft music, or just be in quiet mode. And just focus on each stroke. Let everything go and accept whatever you draw. Don't think about anything, just focus on the actual movement. So here you can see the difference of the shading. So this came over a little bit, so I think I'm going to just blend that in. Perfectly fine to do that. I might even come through like this a little bit. Bring a little bit. So this is a lighter shade of gray. So one thing you can keep in mind is when you shade, you can have all different shades of gray. All right, so I think that's my demo. I went a little bit longer than anticipated, but that's normal for me. And there you have it. Variation of Chakthro and embellishments of Chakeye. Oh, the embellishments are here. Embellishments, which you could do in any pattern. Chakeye. All right, so thank you all for being here. I hope you enjoyed it.